So a good afternoon, all. Welcome to the beautiful BCC campus for part of our International Education Week events. Today is Thursday, and it will be our last International Education event. We had two good ones at College of Alameda, Laney College, but now we're finishing possibly with the best, and in some ways, one might say the most important. Because today we will hear student voices, sharing experiences, and letting us know their feelings, their thoughts, their hopes for the future. Of course, being a student panelist is difficult and possibly anxiety-bringing. However, these five young folk are going to share really some important viewpoints. They are all from different parts of the world, and I thank them for coming today. We will hear from them. We will see a short video. We will have an introduction by Thomas Torres Gill. But before we move right into the event, I realized today that I wanted to bring my passport, understanding that it was these documents that allow many people the opportunity to travel and to have their freedoms. But also to understand that too many people in the world now do not have their passports, and too many people are suffering and don't have the resources to move around the world freely. And just to reflect how fortunate all of us are, even if we are going through hard times or difficulties, we are here and we do have freedoms. Let us always remember that many do not. Many people are suffering throughout the world. Many people do not have the luxury of education and or higher education. Many people do not have the luxury of living in safe homelands. Many people have been displaced and will continue to be displaced. I could only hope that the younger generations figure out better ways of reflecting so that international education, international safety, international peace may one day be a reality for all of us. So I would like to introduce Thomas Torres Gill, who will just give a brief overview of what does Peralta International Education look like in 2019.
Thank you, Michael. Pick up the mic. I want to thank all of our panelists for being here today and spending your time when I know we are coming near the holiday break. There's lots of midterms and tests and applications to universities possibly. So thank you for your time today, Mr. Goldberg, for arranging the events, and every one of you that are listening in or sitting with us here as well. I've worked at the Peralta Community College District for 11 years now, and helped us start our international office at Berkeley City College. So I'm very familiar with the campus and the environment, and I'm really glad that this is the 5th year that we're doing International Education Week, and it really started here where we do the walk around the world with a lot of students representing their countries. This year it's a new twist, which I love. We get to hear from our actual students in a more direct way, and I just want to share a little bit about the students that we have. As you can imagine, within our district, because we are district-based, we have a lot of international students, but Berkeley City College is the main choice for a number of reasons, and that the first of which is the ability to transfer to universities. This campus is known for the ability to transfer to universities in addition to their amazing career education coursework and programs. Of course, our students do attend other colleges and take classes at other colleges, and this semester, we had just over 700 students that represent 75 different countries of citizenship. And these are just our F1 international students. So it does not include students who are possibly here under different visa categories, here under a no visa category, but part of UCRC, for instance. But I'll name a few just so you can get an idea. We have Afghanistan, Algeria, Argentina, Bangladesh, Belgium, Burma, Cayman Islands, Colombia, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, Croatia, El Salvador, Haiti, Indonesia, India, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Palestinian territories as well, the Philippines, Romania, Russia, Senegal, Saudi Arabia, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Africa, South Korea. I mean, I'm not going to list them all, but there's just a ton of unique countries that you may not really perceive our students being from, in addition to traditional countries that you may know about of China or Japan or Mongolia or South Korea even. So I just wanted to thank all of Berkeley City College, its students, the community members, and everyone that supports international education in some form, whether it's going to study abroad, which I encourage everyone to do. We have study abroad brochures and information. Berkeley City College just had a class this past summer to Egypt that was very successful, and they're looking at doing it again. But also if you meet and interact international students in your classroom, to try to understand that not every international student experience is the same, and I hope that today's panel illustrates that. So thank you all again for attending, and I'll hand it over to Mr. Goldberg. I hope you guys enjoyed today's event.
Okay, we're going to start with a video that actually shows and is following a little bit about Mubarak's life. Importantly, the video was a student-made video. So these are students getting trained at Peralta and then producing really high-quality video pieces. So let's take a look.
My name is Mubarak Haruna. I'm 20, computer programming major and student athlete, captain men's soccer at Merritt College. Ever since I was 8 years old, I've always been like, I want to be a computer scientist, a software developer to be precise. America has, I mean, most of the best universities in the world, like a huge percentage. And in researching, I found out that the Peralta Community College District is like one of the best in California. I mean, the teachers are amazing, the hospitality, it's almost like a family really, they just want to see you do well.
I met Mubarak in spring of 2018. He was a student in my English 1A class, one of 40 students. But I noticed him right away. Very responsive in class, always prepared.
Mubarak has been a very focused child and very hardworking. Not only that, very obedient and very vast in religion. At a very early age, he finished the Quran and he practiced religious very rigorously.
My parents, the kind of background I was raised in, you know, from an Islamic background, humble family, and yeah, they were very strict with me. Always be responsible, know what is right from wrong, pray at the right time, read your Quran. So I remember my dad bought me a kind of bouncy ball. It's not really a regular football, but it's light. So I always tried to do bicycle kicks and all those weird skills and even invent skills on my own. And I mean, playing football, I've always been happy playing football. Anytime I'm stressed, I just go outside, play football. When I'm frustrated, when I'm sad, it just makes me happy, puts me in a good mood.
I met Mubarak after he sent me an email and asked about playing for the soccer team. We met right over there, actually in the parking lot one day, After he emailed me, I said, let's meet on campus. We set up a time to meet, and just a couple short days later, we were finally able to meet. He scored a lot of goals, had a lot of assists for us because of his speed. He knows how to use it. When he gets going, nobody's gonna catch him.
After graduating high school, I joined the Inspire Youth Initiative, which is founded by my very good friend Nafisa Haliru, to help the less privileged and develop the talents of the next generation of African leaders. And then I joined Gear 'em Up as a creative director to help underprivileged athletes in developing countries, to provide them athletic apparel, because most of these kids are very, very talented. It's just that they don't have the resources to be as successful as they can. And in the future, actually very soon, I hope to start a scholarship that I would be giving out every year for, anyone that is disadvantaged financially, just to help them. Being at Peralta has impacted my life tremendously. The teachers have been ever so supportive. My classmates, forming study groups with them and always them checking in on me, like, how are you? How are things going? Apart from, our work in the classroom, they also try to, we look out for each other, outside of the class to make sure we're safe and we're happy.
Mubarak is a quiet guy a lot of the time when we're up on the field. He's not negative. He's not a negative influence.
Mubarak, you are one of a kind. You're incredibly brilliant and kind, and you have integrity and character. And I think you should just go forward and shine.
You need to continue this because the future will be bright if you work harder. I want to see you go into one of the good schools and keep a very decent record so that you'll be able to make a difference in the world.
And to make a difference in the world, we're going to start off with a series of questions and then have time for audience questions. I'm just going to share the first name of the student panelists and then ask a question, and they will each respond. So Mubarak is first. Jeanette, Shashwat, Asel, and Jade will be sharing information. The first question is, please provide a short introduction. Where are you from? When did you first think about studying in the United States? And your current major? And here's a mic. Is that better?
I'm from Nigeria. I first started thinking of studying here after high school, and my major is in mathematics and computer science.
I am from Turkmenistan. I first thought of studying in the US in 2014 when I first came to the US.
I'm basically from India. My parents are Indian, but I've been born and brought up in Russia and lived most of my adolescent ages in Dubai, that is the United Arab Emirates. And I first thought of coming to the United States in 2016 after finishing high school, basically. The first phase of high school that really makes you think of, thinking of universities and higher education.
My name is Asel, and I started thinking of coming here since I was in 4th grade, actually. my major is biology, and I come from Palestine.
Hi, my name's Jade, and I'm from Vietnam. And I was studying international business in the university in Vietnam. And then my uncle here, he lives here, and he suggested that why don't I come here to study, since I study international business. Yeah.
Positive?
Yeah, so keep going with that because I was studying international business. But since I came here and I choose accounting, and after a year studying that, I feel like I don't really like business stuff. So I always liked to draw since I was a child. So then I think I need to do something that I want to do. So since I come here, I decided that I want to do what I like. So I changed my major to animation. And that's the thing that unexpected here, yeah.
So what I really liked about the US in general is how people are really helpful here and how they really care about you since you're international and you don't know a lot of stuff here. So they are always willing to help you and be by your side. Actually, there was one fear, which is like I'm wearing my scarf on my head. I was afraid that people would not accept me, but actually I was surprised that I was accepted. I made wonderful friends, and people here are really nice, and I like that.
Something unexpected for me for the first time was coming into a university out of high school. High school have always been a timetable following routine thing. And coming here is very different to back home universities as well. They follow the same schedule kind of thing, a 9 to 5 or 9 to 3. And here it's per your convenience. Students get the most of their will of education. You really want to study here compared to back in the home country. It's like you don't want to get up every day at 9. You can choose afternoon classes or evening classes, which was really unexpected and really made me think to study more over here and increased my potential of scoring higher in my classes as well.
So something unexpected for me was, actually no, there wasn't anything unexpected. Everything was like I expected. I was only surprised by the fact that our president is known by his ridiculousness in the US. So, yeah. But other than that, like, I really like the US. I especially like how everyone, like, in the US, everyone minds their own business. Like, like no one judges you if you make a mistake, and American people are not perfectionists. And yeah, so, and I chose America just for diverse. I chose America like for, like American people are not perfectionists. So yeah, I mean American people accept you, like teachers, classmates accept you as the way you are. They never try to change you.
A positive for me is how the students here are very collaborative with each other and they support each other. Unlike back home where everyone is super competitive and wants to be top of class. So it's good to have friends that want to see you do well and progress in life here.
Okay. The next question will be, even though you've sort of already shared it in some of your responses, would be something that you value about your experience. This could be both in and out of the classroom, but something that makes you realize you're not back in India or not in Russia or not in Turkmenistan or not in Nigeria or Palestine or Jordan or Vietnam, but something that you really appreciate about your experience and your new reality here.
Being a student at Merit has given me the opportunity to teach tutor students both at the Learning Center and students that have learning disabilities. So this has given me the chance to share all my passions, emotions, and knowledge with all the students, and also given me the opportunity to share my soccer skills and gain recognition from top schools.
So what makes me feel like I'm not back in Turkmenistan is that there are lots of people like me. Well, when I mean like me, like DSP students. That's what I mean. So, and I had the opportunity to discover myself. First of all, to discover that I'm not perfect and I'm never going to be perfect. So, yeah. So it gave me the opportunity to love myself more, to invest in myself more than to compare myself with others. Yeah, like because, and when I came here, like, I feel like I'm in my own place. Like, when I'm in my country, I never feel like I belong to somewhere, you know, so.
One thing that majorly differentiates an international student with a domestic student is that the student gets to be independent on his own, and he learns a lot of things and makes a lot of mistakes at the same time, which is why I believe coming out here for me was very unique, because I made a lot of mistakes in the first few months of me being here. Those mistakes were like self-teaching methods, you know, that I would not repeat such things again. Comparing myself with the Indian culture, my parents are really possessive. They do not want me to make mistakes, and if they see that, you know, a mistake's gonna happen, they stop me well in advance, which is good and bad at the same time, because I don't get to learn. I just see their perspective of things, which was different for me over here, because I came here, made mistakes, learned from it, and today I can stand to them and talk to them like, Dad, I made this mistake. Now I know where I'm wrong or where I can be correct as well. So that was a really positive insight of being here, being independent, learning a lot more than just constantly being under the vision of your parents, you know. You get to explore yourself like everyone else over here is saying too.
When I came here to the US, I had to leave my family, my friends, my hometown, and start a whole new life, which was really hard for me, finding friends and, you know, finding myself. So I got really independent, really responsible, and I learned how to hold on to my culture at the same time to be myself and to reflect how I really am from the inside besides my own culture. So that was one thing I really learned and I appreciate.
Oh yeah, just like other students just share, the things I appreciated most here is I have a lot of experiences. I grew up more. Before I was very shy and I couldn't like speak in front of people like that, like here. So now I feel a little bit more confident than before, and I learn a lot of things here as well as make a lot of friends. Especially, I have the chance to work in an international office, and in here, I learn a lot from all the staffs and all my coworkers, and yeah, I have a lot of good experiences. So.
Okay, very good. Another question, your hopes and dreams for the future. Hopes and dreams for the future.
So right now, I'm studying animation, and I noticed that animation is also more developed in my country. So I also hope that I can have an opportunity to work here for a while, so I can gain more skills, and so that I can come to Vietnam and develop those skills to make the more perfect animation movies.
My plan is to study dentistry and go back to my hometown to benefit my people because we really need dentistry in my hometown. And it's kind of underrated. So, and people have like this fear from dentists. So I'm trying to change this idea of dentists. That's why like I really love dentistry and that's my goal. Also because my mom always wants me to be this perfect girl who's like have her own plans and her own dreams. So yeah, I want to make my mom also happy and my family. So.
Like the other two panelists spoke, I would also like to do something similar, go back to my home country, or probably where I've been living all my life, to develop more because it's developing, it's really broad, it's new. People around the world started knowing those countries, but they still are very back end with their own culture. They're just innovating or developing their own cultures and enhancing what has been going on for the past probably 100 or 200 years. But having an opportunity to study outside really gets you another opportunity to go back and incorporate different cultures into the same field. So I can try putting in my own experiences over here, the culture of the United States and the culture back in India, Russia, or UAE in one particular field. That gives the broadest opportunity to everyone else also studying or working in the same field. So that's more like a goal that I would like to say, and I really hope I achieve that as well at the same time.
Well, I also have kind of same dream. First, I want to discover myself. I'm still discovering myself. I'm in the process of discovering myself, actually. So, yeah, my major is undeclared, but I would like to be a veterinarian. So in the future, I hope to have a better connection with animals, and I hope to create a better world for animals in my home country because animals are not really good treated. And not only in my country, but I would like to be a vet without borders, which travels around the world to save animals. So, yeah.
I hope to go pro in soccer while working towards obtaining my PhD in computer science. And I also hope to build the very first sports university back in Nigeria and my own tech company that is aimed at bridging the technology gap and developing applications to solve Nigeria's greatest challenges.
And a final question would be, now that you're here in the U.S. and you've experienced 1, 2, or maybe more years here, what are your reflections back on your native countries? Is it missing? Is it realizing the values that you were growing up with you aren't seeing here? Just how are you reflecting back on where you came from now that you've been in another culture for this period of time?
I miss my family a lot. My mom, my dad, my brother and sister. I miss the culture, my friends, especially the food. But thank God there's also some good Nigerian food in Oakland. I also miss, especially during the Ramadan period where you're around your family and friends, so it's better to have, to celebrate with your friends and family that share the same faith with you. Unlike here, during Ramadan, there's no one to pray with or break iftar with, so I really miss that community back home.
It's a complicated question for me. First of all, I miss my memories, my high school memories. I miss my high school times. I miss my family a lot, my friends, my room. To be honest, my room was the best place for me in the world. Yeah, I miss my bed. Well, I miss I miss the places where where I used to spend time a lot, but at the same time, it made me hate my country's education system more. And it made me realize that still my country is not the best place for me to be in. Yeah.
Being here was not as much of a difference to me compared to back home. Dubai is very broad and very diverse already in its own field. Uh, Understanding Russian part of the culture was also not a big difference to compared to here. For example, the weather. It's cold. It's super cold in Russia, so cold over here didn't make a difference. I've always been asked this question when I'm here. You're Indian. Don't you feel cold? Why are you not even wearing a jacket or anything? I'm like, guys, I was born in Russia. I've stayed in snow, so it doesn't make a difference. But like most others, comparing myself to memories or family, I do say that I would miss family, but every coin has two sides. One side is you're independent, you don't have people asking questions to you, you can do what you want. But at the other side, you're like spending occasions. Family time is also important at the same time. So those things are definitely things that I would miss, or I would say that I really reflect on to be with. But I'm enjoying being here on my own more than, going back or an instant going back thing. It's rather something for the future that I think of.
Being in the US actually made me more open to different cultures from all around the world, meeting new people, which made me respect and appreciate my culture more and made me more eager to know more about my culture. I really miss my family, my parents, my sisters. I miss some occasions in Palestine, such as collecting olives, the weddings over there, speaking Arabic normally with people because here is English. I miss like everything about Palestine. I even miss like the smell of the wind and everything. It's like that.
I would say that there's a lot of difference between my home country, Vietnam, and here. So yeah, thanks God I'm quite a quick adaptation to here because when I first come here, everything is so different. The education and the life, the culture, and the food. So for me, the food in my hometown is still the best, and I never find in anywhere else. And that's the most thing I miss. And about education, I really enjoy study here because I feel like it's more chill. Like the way you learn is not only pressure, but just like you have fun and you learn and you experience. But in my country, I feel like a lot of pressure, a lot of homework and stuff to do, and the teacher is kind of like tougher, and it's hard to communicate with them than here. So I really appreciate that I can study here.
Now I would like to open it up to questions from viewers or others. Do you have any questions for the panelists? And you could ask to get a response for all five, or specifically to Jade, or Asel, or Shashwat, or Jeanette, or Mubarak. And speak up, please. Just stand up and speak it out. Do you have a question? Oh, I thought I saw the hand. Any questions? Yes.
Can you describe how easy or complicated it was to even be a student in regards to your experience at the embassy, applying for a visa, or coming into the country at the port of entry. Can you kind of share if it was what that experience might have been for you, each of you guys, if you don't mind?
Okay, so I will start. For me, it's the really complicated and hard process. I was very nervous on the day that I did the interview with the embassy, and they asked a lot of questions, like all kind of questions you could find, like everyone share on the internet. And actually, I interviewed twice. The first time I was failed because I was so nervous and I couldn't answer the question clear. So that's the reason. And the second time, I'm more confident and I answer them all clear. So they just give me the visa to come here. Yeah. But I noticed that it's also really hard for Vietnamese students to come here. Yeah.
Being Palestinian did not make it easy at all to get a visa to come to the U.S. and study. So I had like 5% chance of coming here, and that was my only hope. I got accepted, and I applied to get my interview. But hopefully I did pass, and I was so happy that I cried that day, and even my parents were so happy that, yeah, you're going to the U.S., you're going to your dreams and all that. And then I went to the airport. I was all alone by myself for the first time traveling. I arrived to the U.S., so it was all like a dream. I still can't believe that I'm actually here, like studying. It's all like a dream, and I'm so proud to be here, actually. And I just wanted to add one thing about the difference between here and Palestine. When you're in Palestine, whenever you're going to go from one country to one country, you have to go through checkpoints, be checked by soldiers, and all that. So it's kind of weird and a happy feeling that here you can just go wherever you want without being checked, being free, not being afraid of anything. So that was like an amazing feeling I went through.
I'd like to say my experience was fun because I went for the application, the interview for the visa with my parents because they wanted to come here too. You know, for the first time that I'm going to be on my own. I told you, Indian parents very concerned, but so we all follow the same stereotype that it's been all along that getting into the United States very hard, visa applications very hard. It definitely depends, you know, from country to country, but the whole stereotype of it being very hard was all prominent throughout my family for like 2 weeks before the application. So my dad's planning out paperwork. He's got loads of paperwork to show, to present that, yeah, please just let him go there and things like that. We went to the interview. The officer right there just asked me 2 questions. Why are you studying? And what are your plans after studies? And that's it. And no more questions. Visa was approved. I was very happy. But the only thing funny for me was my dad's face. He's like, I prepared so many things for the interview. They didn't ask me anything. I was like, Dad, 2 questions, we're in. So I really enjoyed it. And then applications, you know, coming here, the tough process was the time gap, you know, it's like a 12-hour difference. So every time the office over here was awake, you know, all the other, you know, officers are awake to, you know, process your application. Everyone in my house is sleeping except me, because I'm like, can you please, you know, check if my I-20 is ready? Can you please check if my documents are ready? So that was a tough process, you know, to go about the time difference, the process. But visa was really fun, thanks to my dad.
So my experience in coming here was kind of exciting. Yeah, so nowadays it's really difficult to go out of the country, out of Turkmenistan, especially for girls. But I managed to, especially when you have a visa from community college, is that you have a low chance to get a visa because sometimes people get a fake visa from community colleges, and usually it's from non-prestigious community colleges. But like, yeah, luckily mine was prestigious, and yeah. And I was kind of scared that what if they don't give me visa? What would I do? Because this was the only college that I was applying to, and U.S. was the only country that I was applying to. I wasn't applying to anywhere, so I was kind of scared. But my mom was even more afraid than me. Even I wasn't as worried as my mom was. So yeah, if I wasn't coming here, my plan was to go to Turkey to work. But they gave me visa. It took 2 days to give me visa, but finally I got it. And then I was even more scared when I was going to the airport, because it's a nightmare for Turkmens when they're going abroad to be questioned, to be interviewed in the migration. So, yeah. And, yeah, I passed through all of that. I've been through all of that tough stuffs. And then there was only exciting 13 or 14-hour journey left. And I traveled alone. It was super exciting to travel for 14 hours by yourself, all by yourself.
I think the visa process was the most difficult period in my life, because the first time I went for the interview, I was denied, and my parents were very upset. I think me and my dad had a couple of arguments, but then I got an expedited visa interview for the next week. So I basically fasted for 8 days prior to the interview, and alhamdulillah, I got accepted. And then when I traveled here, the immigration held me for 14 hours in the airport, because they just wanted to have an alone time with me. They asked me a lot of difficult, tough questions that I didn't expect, but I'm thankful that I got through that process, and now I'm here.
Thanks. Are there any more questions from the audience for the panelists? A question? No? Any last thoughts that you would like to share? Anything that comes to mind, or you don't have to, but.
I'm thankful to all the professors, staff, administrators, students here. Being a student here is it's like basically a second home, a second family here. Everyone is hospitable, kind, friendly. They support you. They just want to see you do well. There's no kind of animosity at all. And being here has been a very wonderful experience for me, and I have no regrets at all.
You don't have.
I didn't hear that question.
Oh, final thoughts. Just any final thoughts, if you'd like to.
Oh, okay. My final thoughts are, yeah, I'm really happy that I came to the US, because actually my dream was just to go out of my country. That's it. Even if it was Uzbekistan, or even if that was, I don't know, Syria, I would be okay with that. Yeah. Yeah, so I really like it here. Yeah, no one is judging me. No one is criticizing or scrutinizing me. Everyone is helpful. Everyone is supporting me, supporting my way of learning, supporting my diversity, supporting my different habits or characters, my different type of personalities. So, yeah.
Final thoughts, right? So, final thoughts, just be alone, stay safe, stay happy for myself. But hardly happens. My parents travel a lot. They come visit me every time, which is sad, which is happy. I don't get my independence all the time, but I definitely want more independence now, starting next semester, hopefully. And yeah, I just love being here, love being myself.
I'm thankful for every moment in the U.S. Thank you, and thank you for everyone. Thankful for my supportive family and parents, and I really appreciate how the faculty in Peralta actually are willing to do everything just to support you and help you get to your goals and succeed. And that's something we all should appreciate. So thank you.
I think here my final thought is like here I think people are like unique, and they can grow up the way they like, but like compared to my country, everyone seems to do on the same path, and if a person that did something different, they will be judged, and it's pretty hard for them to like experience and grow up the way they want. So I really happy that I'm here, and I can learn a lot and make a lot of friends. Yeah. And thank you for listening to us.
So many thanks. We are here to support your education and your path. And again, many thanks for participating today. And thanks for those that were able to come and hear, listen. Of course, we have many study abroad programs that we would like our students to have the opportunity to travel, just as our international students are able to study here. So many thanks.